Here with us now is Brett Bruen, a former U.S. diplomat under the Obama and Bush administrations and president of the Global Situation Room. Brett, good morning. Let's start with these leaked documents. How damning is this if Israel was planning on retaliating against Iran? How much does it complicate things?
Well, Hannah, one of the things you always ask yourself when you see these leaked documents is why. And I believe that from the information that's come out thus far, we can determine that this was probably released by Iran in an effort to disrupt those planned attacks. Now, how they got a hold of that information is another question. It was distributed to the Five Eyes, our most close allies, as well as obviously to a number of U.S. National security officials. So where in that chain did Iran or someone linked with Iran get a hold of it? There are obviously questions about whether or not it came from some internal or if it was externally hacked. But either way, it's obviously damaging.
We also have this massive strike in northern Gaza overnight that I mentioned. With these further strikes in the region, how does it complicate negotiations between Hamas and Israel, more importantly, getting those hostages home?
Well, I think what Israel is doing is saying, look, we're not going to let up just because we may have taken out the leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas. We are going to keep our pressure on. We're going to ensure that the military objectives are achieved. And that will, in one theory, push the remaining leaders of Hamas, Hezbollah, to negotiate better conditions. So I think what Israel is trying to achieve right now are advantages and to get as much militarily accomplished as it can before it has to get back to the negotiating table.
There is so much to talk about. I have to turn to another major conflict, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, Ukraine is releasing video. It claims it shows North Korean troops in Russian military gear getting ready for deployment, heading to Ukraine. But I have to ask you, how significant would it be if North Korea actually sends troops, boots on the ground, in Ukraine?
Yeah, this is really worrying, Hannah, because it actually has the potential to create not just an expanded conflict within Ukraine or Europe, but to bring in a whole nother region, a whole nother country. If something on a significant scale should happen to North Korean soldiers and Kim Jong-un decides that this is a moment for retaliation not only against Ukraine, but potentially some of its allies, including the United States, that is a worst case scenario. So this is a pretty, unprecedented development that North Korean soldiers would be fighting outside of the Korean Peninsula. But secondly, I just think it opens up this whole tinderbox of danger.
What would it take for American troops to get involved in this conflict if it appears other countries might be joining this fight?
I don't think we're looking at, apart from perhaps some American trainers going to Ukraine, a larger scale U.S. involvement. I think both leaders of the Democratic and the Republican Party have indicated they do not want to see U.S. boots on the ground. At the same time, and what we're hearing from President Zelensky is that he needs more. He needs more weapons. He needs more weapon systems. And so I think it's important for us to look at what more we can do, because up until now, just short of 3 years into this conflict, we are seeing that the Ukrainians are struggling only to, hold on to territory, let alone to claw back territory that was taken from them.
Ukrainian President Zelensky rolling out a strategy. He says it's his victory plan. He wants to force Russia to the negotiating table. I am curious how likely that is, especially with new reports that Ukrainian drones targeted Moscow overnight. Do you think Ukraine is doing enough to force Putin's hand and end this war that has been going on for years now?
I think they're doing as much as they can with what they have, but no, clearly it isn't enough to push Putin to the negotiating table, to push him to make real concessions, because, let's be honest here, if we simply suggest that we're going to accept the status quo, that Ukrainian territory, about 25% of Ukraine, will be ceded to Russia, I think that's pretty unacceptable, both for the Ukrainians, but also for NATO and clearly the United States. So it's important, I think, for Zelensky to have more tools to be able then to put Putin in a position where it's just uncomfortable.
Brett Bruen, this insight, very valuable this morning. Thank you so much, especially with everything going on around the world. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.